Nigerian government is reintroducing toll gates on highways as part of efforts to generate revenue for road maintenance and infrastructure development. One of the key routes to be reintroduced to the tolling system is the Kefi-Makurdi Highway, a crucial corridor connecting the north-central region to other parts of the country. The tolling system promises improved road conditions and better funding for road infrastructure. On Nigeria Today, we will engage stakeholders to examine the reintroduction of toll gates, its economic and social implications, and its impact on sustainable road maintenance in Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mikaria Clinton. With me in the studio for the conversation is Engineer Kashim Ali. He's a former president, Koren, and also Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Also with us for the conversation is Anthony Chukwudi Asogwa. He's a former General Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers, and he's also the SSA to the President of the Union on Media. It's good to have you in Nigeria Today.
Thank you.
Now, I will start with you, Anthony. Now, tell us the reintroduction of toll gates. What do you feel about, what's your perception about this introduction?
Okay, thank you. Actually, we don't have a problem with the reintroduction of toll gates. In fact, we support that idea. And we have even written, made a representation, so to say, to the government on the issue, in which we said we support it wholeheartedly, provided, however, that the purpose for establishing toll gates is achieved. And what are those purposes? You rightly pointed out. It's for the maintenance of the roads, so that we have good roads all the time. But the problem we have in Nigeria, I must have to say it, is that in most cases, toll gates are established and awarded to people, would I call it friends of the people in power, so to say.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there for now. At least you said it's a welcome
development. It's a welcome development, actually. Provided, like I said earlier on, that the purpose for which it is being established is achieved.
Now, engineer, from your professional point of view, we're talking about road maintenance and now the reintroduction of the toll gates. Now, what do you make of it? What do you make of it?
No, it's a proper thing to do, and it's something that is done everywhere in the world, where government has commitment to keep the road infrastructure in optimal condition. So it's not unusual. But the only thing is that this particular one, this Kefi, normally tools are normally for operation and maintenance of the roads. But this particular one has an additional input, that of capital contribution, because the road was built using a debt. So that debt has to be repaid. So it's both for payment for the capital investment, for operation and maintenance of the road. So it's even more intense.
Okay, now, it has, the toll gate is not like this is the first time we're having something like that. Like we had it, like 20 years ago, or 25 years, it was disbanded by the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. Now it has been reintroduced. Tell us, what do you think, should be done this time to ensure that we don't have, because you rightly said before the program, you said the reason why it was disbanded was because the benefits were not being achieved. Now, what do you think, in your opinion, that should be done for this one to be, successful?
First thing, collection, they say, is going to be electronic, and it has to be totally electronic. So that way, there is no temptation, because the truth about life is that when you get people handling money on a continuous basis, the tendency to get the temptation to want to touch it is there. And then also, if one person touches it and there's no repercussion, others will also want to have their own part of the cake. So, making it electronic is excellent, and that is the way it is in all the other places. So it should be electronic, and there should not be too many people managing the gates. Normally, toll gates are usually commercial centers. It's not only about the toll gates. It's about also you have filling station, you will have car washes, you have restaurants, and you have other things that are useful to the kind of community that is on the road. So, like if we take an example, on this road now, this Kefi Makurdi road, you know, Makurdi, Benue is food basket, and along the road you have a lot of yam market. So if we would decide to create a yam market now, a regulatory yam market around that toll gate. So when people come, people look forward to the toll gate, pay, cross, go to the, have a rest, buy some food stuff, and continue their journey. So they must create some activities also, because it's not enough. They want to pay. It's not always enough. For all transitional modes, there's always this challenge. Even with railway, for instance, you have that problem. It's not what they pay that people, that is what they pay, people pay. The token that people pay is not always enough for the maintenance of the system. So you create other means of revenue generation. For trains, for instance, you create ridership along the route by maybe acquiring the land, either directly or indirectly building estates, so that there will be people who will use the train. So the same thing, you create ridership, encourage people to come on that route. There must be deliberate effort now to create a situation where people now going towards the east, instead of going through Lokoja, they should now have reason to prefer to go through that place and create ridership, so that the toll will increase. And also, you are creating commercial activity around the toll gate also. So they also look forward to buying things or to having rest and or having meetings. You can ask somebody, okay, all right, I'm coming from Enugu, you're coming from Makurdi, let's meet at that toll gate. We can have our meeting there. And perhaps from there, people can disperse, or you can continue your journey to Abuja and continue mine to Enugu at least. So those things are the things that make toll gates effective. In addition, there should be complete outsourcing.
Okay, we'll come to that, Engineer Kashim. Now back to you, Anthony. I know, like you said in your opening remark, that you don't have a problem with the toll gate being reintroduced. Okay, but you raised some concerns. Now, in your opinion, what do you think, what areas do you think attention should be, given to ensure that, your expectations are met? For instance, road congestion and the rest of them, and, some other issues I know you would like to also, draw attention to.
All right, thank you. Once again, I also want to say that Engineer Kashim seems to have captured a lot of things that will make the toll gate to be viable, so to say. And like I said earlier on, the problem we have is not even from the collectors of the revenue at the revenue point, because those collectors are working for somebody. The problem is remitting the money into government coffers, or a dedicated account for purposes of using the proceeds to maintain the roads regularly. Now, but the problem we have also been able to, according to the report we are getting from this Kefi Makurdi toll gates, One is that the amount is on the high side. We are meant to know that it is 500 naira per vehicle.
Well, let me give you what I have here.
Okay.
The salon cars are 500 naira.
Good.
Sports utility vehicles like also jeeps are 800 naira. Then we have minibuses for 1,000 naira. Then articulated vehicles are for 1,600 naira.
Okay, let me use that of minibus. Is it cars or minibuses, which is 500 naira? Now, I have about 4 points along that road. In that case, somebody coming from Lafia will have to pay 2,000. Yes, 2,000 naira. Coming, 2,000 naira. Going back, which is 4,000 naira by vehicle, and a vehicle might decide to do 2 trips in a day. Definitely, it is going to reflect on the fare. Definitely, and we all know that Nigerians have been overstretched, economic hardship. So the amount is high. And again, we are made to understand that they use POS, which is electronic anyway. We want it to be electronic, but then the problem is that some areas, they don't have even network services. So it causes traffic gridlock along the road or along the point, which is not good, because the traveling hours will have to be increased, maybe to an extra 1 hour. So we have the opinion that, because if you take record of the vehicle applying that road on a daily basis, you know that even if they are paying 100 naira, there will be more than enough fund to be generated from that source.
But let's just look at what these monies are supposed to be used, where they're supposed to be channeled. Like the minister had said that it will be, the money realized will be used to maintain and service, will, of course, for the road, for the road maintenance, and also service. We are also looking at servicing of a loan that was raised for the construction of the road, and of course, the private company that will be taking care of that. It was outsourced, just like you rightly mentioned. It's outsourced. It's not like the government will do the collection of the money. Okay. So,
whatever it is, be it a private company that is collecting it. Previously, we were always told that the essence of putting up the toll gates is for generate revenue that we use in maintaining the roads, but it has never been done. No,
this time around, we're having
we hope, we pray and hope.
The structuring is different from what it used to be.
Good. We pray it works out that way. Like you said, it will be a private company, not that probably the private company built the road, and they will now want to recoup their money and also keep on maintaining the road,
which is a good thing for you as a road user.
Of course, we want the roads to be good, yes. But our people always say, that is to say, let it not be a story that touches the heart every time.
No, it definitely will not be this time around.
But like I said earlier on, the amount is still on the high side. That is the truth of the matter.
So what would you recommend?
Well, I will recommend 200 naira.
Thank you very much. Yes. We'll take a short break now.
Okay, sorry.
We'll take a short break now. Okay, we'll have to continue now before the break will come. Now, Engineer Kashimali, he has raised some concerns. I don't know if he shared the same opinion with Anthony here on the totality of what he has said about it. Now, another thing I'd want you to talk about is how will the government prevent issues like corruption and toll evasion?
Well, I think those are the fears he expressed also, because corruption can come in different facets. Like it could come at the level of the collectors, and it could come at the back end. So those who are entitled to handle the money at the end of the day could also get excited. You know, the funny thing with money is that once people have contact with money, temptation sets in. It needs a strong will and maybe guidance of God for people to see money and not touch. So that's why I said, normally what you do is there has to be a proper governance system. One ministry that has poor governance system in Nigeria is the Ministry of Works. You know, if you see other ministries are supposed to be policy institutions. But Ministry of Works has over the years been both policy and implementation. And they have done very badly in implementation because they are not well suited for that.
You're talking about the past now?
Even up till now, nothing has largely changed. If you look at the law setting up FEMA, even the assignment that FEMA is undertaking, most of the assignments they are undertaking are outside the definition of their responsibilities. Because when you say maintenance is an engineering term. It refers to a situation where that system is still functional. You want to optimize it or keep it at optimal performance level. So, but what we have, for instance, we're talking about the highways, all of us know that at the point, even the statistics, official statistics showed at the time FEMA was created that 73% of federal highways had failed, which means they required reconstruction. It's not part of FEMA mandate. So the ministry has been doing that and doing it very poorly. But we have always advocated that we stand up is to have Federal Highway Authority that will have the legal power that can sue and be sued. So if you give them that responsibility with a chief executive that is not a cabinet minister, so he's not somebody that can bully anybody. That way, if the road traffic transport union, for instance, have a case of accidents on highway, they can come to and go to court, sue the Federal Highway Authority. That is because of the condition of this road that our vehicles have been damaged. We therefore require compensation for the lives and for our vehicles that have been destroyed. You can't do that with the ministry, because if you even go to court and you're about to get judgment, the president can get up to that and say, I've changed the name of Ministry of Works to Ministry of Infrastructure. When you go to court, they say your case will be thrown out, or anyhow. Lawyers can come out and mess you up. So, but if it's an agency incorporated by law, you need to go to National Assembly to change the name. And you cannot do that while the case is in court, because you are perversing the course of justice. So this is what we have always advocated. If you have that, for instance, have the Federal Highway Authority today, even this outsourcing will be managed by that agent organization. Minister will not be involved. They will manage that arrangement. So when the money comes, because there are a lot of things that still need to be done, you need to put electronic equipment at those sections to take the photograph of every vehicle that passes. So in a day, because now, even for purposes of planning, now because the road is the way it is now, maybe the traffic level has increased, you will not know until you have that statistic. So that's okay. Trailers that pass today were 50. Tomorrow is 51. So you see that growth. You monitor it, and that's okay. There's a need now to upgrade the design of this road to carry the emerging traffic. Because when you plot your graph, you see that this is growing. If you see that there's a continuous growth, you are at liberty to project that graph to a point where it's okay, in the next 25 years, this is where the traffic level will be. So this is the quality of road you need in 25 years. How you now start saving the money, putting aside the money for that development. So that at that time, it's not that time that you start shouting, oh, no, we didn't know. You know. But so that way also you are able to check how many ambulances pass, because emergency vehicles are always giving waivers. So how many? So if therefore somebody goes there and decides to be criminal, and maybe allowing people to pass and collecting money, from that you also know. So, but the governance system as it is today is not supportive of that. That's why I will advocate that if let's, for one, the National Assembly passed the bill, but the ministry was convinced the president not to sign it because it gives the minister power to rule over everything. Even ordinarily, this statement that is coming from minister on this rule shouldn't come from him. It should come from that agency, so that national road, can go to that agency and have an interaction with them and even shout. But you can't shout at the minister.
Oh.
So those are that's why how it works in other countries. But our own, we only know the love of power has created that problem. So I support what he said. That fear arises from the fact that when power is in somebody's hand and the person is so far away, those who are exercising on his behalf are capable of abusing that power even without his knowing.
Okay, I will have to stop you here, Engineer Kashim, so that Anthony will tell us he's a road user. So, you're also a road user, of course.
Well,
we are road users. We are all road users. But then, Anthony, of course, you said is a good thing, the reintroduction of the toll gates. Now, how will this policy affect road safety and security, especially on our highways?
Okay. We all know that to have security issues, challenges in the country. And that is why we are suggesting the mode of payment currently is not helping matters. Because when you allow a long queue of vehicles, there's a tendency that people might take advantage of that situation to carry out one dirty game or so. Yes, that is the fact. So there should be free movement. That is to say, a vehicle should not be allowed to be wasting more time than necessary. Yes, because if they are using POS and there's a tendency that in some areas there won't be network, why not devise another means that can be easier to allow for free movement of vehicles? Because when you allow vehicles to line up, according to the report we got, there's long queues of vehicles waiting to be attended to. One, like I said earlier, it increases the traveling time. And the driver definitely, the commercial drivers, of course, will be losing out. They will now turn around to put it on the commuters.
So in summary.
In summary.
Okay,
there should also be
in
security.
10 seconds. In 10 seconds. What would you want to say to the government on this?
Good. They should provide enough security at the toll gates.
Okay.
Like he said, there will be activities within that area because business will start to thrive. So with that, there will be increase of people moving and around. So there should be enough security to guide against any.
Thank you very much. That was Anthony Chukwudi-Asogwa, the former General Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers, and also the SSA to the President of the Union on Media. Thank you so much for your contribution. And also we had Engineer Kashim Ali, the former President, Koren, and also Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And thank you for being part of the program. I'm Ikeria Clinton. Goodbye.